To the London City Council meeting. Ask you to please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silent reflection. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Clerk, could you please take the roll call?
Russell,
Present.
Peters,
Here.
Robinson,
Here.
Hayes,
Present.
Hitt,
Here.
Blazer, Smith.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum this evening. Has everyone had a chance to take a look at the minutes from the October 7th meeting? I know we did have one correction on that, and that's already been sent out. Do we have any other discussion on that? All right, all in favor of approving those minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, it's carried. Communications and announcements, we do not have any this evening. Audience concern, we do have a couple of them. And we will begin with Steve Miller. You just step to the podium, state your name, address, and this evening we'll have 2 minutes. Thank you.
Stephen Miller, 225 Jenkinson, Ward 3. Basically, I know that this is not even going to be discussed tonight or anything like that, but of course I'm talking about ordinance number 207-21, which is the abortion ban. And basically, I just wanted to bring it to council, or if anybody could answer the question. But I have the well, anyway, basically like Part C, Section D of the proposed ordinance 207-21 makes, and I'm probably saying this drug wrong, but it's mifepristone and misoprostol unlawful to possess or distribute in the city of London, and that's without exception. I've read the ordinance, there's no exception for this. See, those drugs are used in what the bill calls accidental miscarriage. It's otherwise known by the medical field as a spontaneous miscarriage. My question is it the intent of the city council to then hinder and outlaw a woman's ability to get medical care when she has a miscarriage? Since those drugs, there is no exception.
A miscarriage would not qualify as an abortion whatsoever, so there wouldn't even need to be a clarification on the medication.
Okay. That's not what the law says. So it says, let's see, abortion-inducing drugs, this includes those 2 drugs. It says any drug or medication that is used to terminate the life of an unborn child. So it specifically names those 2 drugs, and then any other drug.
In a miscarriage case, would they be used to terminate a life?
It would not.
It would not. So no, it would not qualify.
It would not qualify. Okay. I have to also state that that's a bit confusing. So now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, but I have to say, as a citizen, this law is confusing. And that's one of the reasons why maybe it should, during the amendment process, maybe that should be looked at to help with confusion.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and we have next Tiffany Flax. And before we continue the audience concerns, I do want to note to you that this discussion is actually taking place in our Finance Committee as well as our Public Safety Committee meeting. So if there's more that you would like to interject or more you would like to discuss, I would definitely encourage you to attend the Public Safety meeting as well as the the Finance meeting. That's where we go into a lot more discussion, 120721. But I do thank you for coming tonight because we still want to hear from you, and we encourage you to, bring your input because we do want to hear it. So.
Do you have the dates for those meetings and times?
Finance will be November the 8th. 4:30. Finance will be November 8th at 4:30.
Safety meetings Wednesday, November 9th, 5 o'clock.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, all right, just a moment here. Okay. All right, and you have 2 minutes. Just state your name and your address, and you have 2 minutes.
All right, I'm
Thank you.
Tiffany Flax. My address is 126 Country Ridge. And I wanted to speak also about the becoming a sanctuary for the unborn. I was pro-life since I was a teenager, deeply religious. It was a very strongly held belief that I had. Then I had a friend that I talked to, and she told me her story. This is kind of emotional, so I might cry. She was assaulted, beaten, left for dead, raped. She went to the hospital. They gave her Plan B twice to try and prevent a pregnancy. She still ended up getting pregnant. Her family was also deeply religious, and they pressured her to have the baby, and she told them that she couldn't stand to have that reminder of what had happened to her. And she begged them to forgive her, and she had all of this guilt that followed her around. She did end up terminating because she knew that she wouldn't be able to survive with that constant reminder of what had happened to her. And I have permission to share that story, by the way. I asked her about it today. And so my concern not only is trying to put things in place where it restricts a woman's ability to receive that health care that's protected by the Constitution, but also the wording that is in the ordinance. It says that even if the woman is not prosecuted by the law, that she is still a felon and a criminal and should be ostracized. Now, I want you to think about the kind of words that you guys are putting out there and how this woman would feel, any woman that had been through such a horrendous experience. And you're putting those kind of words on her and that kind of shame, and she has to walk around thinking the people in her community think of her like that. And if you are thinking about this, and if you do pass this, I want you guys to know that this community will see those words attached to all of you forever. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay.
Thank you. All right, next we have Michael Norman. And please state your name, address, and you have 2 minutes, please. Thank you.
First of all, thank you for letting me speak tonight. My name is Michael Norman. I live at 188 South Oak Street here in the great city of London. What I'm coming to talk about tonight is the procedures that the city uses and the choices that they make on how much we as the citizens can be involved in the process of making these ordinances and laws and issues. I have here a packet that was sent to me in the mail. This packet deals with the revitalization grant that's going in. And just for the record, I'd like to just say what's in the packet because not every precinct got this. Basically what came in the packet was two prepaid envelopes, one that they used to send me the information, one that I can use to send the information back. It also comes with 3 pieces of paper. The first paper is the paper that tells me that you want my opinion on what to do with this revitalization money. It also tells me that there's a deadline that I have to respond by. And then at the very bottom, it tells me about a special Saturday meeting that I'll be able to go to voice my opinion. That's the first piece that I got. Second piece that I got is basically what the revitalization represents, what we can do, what we can't use. I got that for that one. And then the third piece of paper that I got is the actual paper where I can put what I'd like to do and then put it in an envelope, fold it, put it in this nice envelope, send it back by the date. So I got all of that on an issue where we don't even have the money yet. This is something that we're trying to get. I got all of this paper over here about this. But here we are. So, this is very hard. Here we are talking about a life situation, and here's what I got. I got nothing over here. I got nothing from the city, nothing at all from the city asking me my opinion. Where's my packet for the life issue. Where is the packet that gives me the two envelopes where I can respond? Where's the letter that asks me to respond, gives me a deadline, gives me that Saturday, because I can't make it during the week? Because I was told by the executive administrator, or executive assistant, that the reason they picked that date was because it was a Saturday, so that people who work during the week could get there and voice their opinion. So my question to you guys is, we're making money, right here, we're making money more important than life. And I'd like to know where my packet is. Where's my packet on life? Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Norman, 20721, we've had several meetings on that. That you're discussing there, we haven't really even discussed that at all yet. We've had several meetings and allowed lots of people to come to voice their opinions, and we've even discussed it already in finance and public safety. So that right there we're talking about two totally different situations, because I would say that 20721 is definitely more important than a CDBG grant for.
I agree too, and that's why I'm asking, why
Right.
is the city sending me out this kind of information on it?
Okay, and Rex, do you have anything to add on the?
I have something, Rex,
Okay,
let me respond.
let Ms. Russell go first.
Michael, the grant, when we get grants, there are conditions that we have to follow in order to get the grants. And that is one of the conditions. We have to send out this survey. If we don't send out the survey, then we don't qualify. We've missed a step, and they'll just throw it in the trash. So the reason you got that is because that's what we have to do to even apply for the grant. That's why you got the information for that grant. Now, we get other grants that we don't have to do that with. So you're not aware of them until you come to council meeting. The only reason you got those papers is because the CBG says you got to send out and get a survey, or else you cannot even apply for the $750,000. That's the only reason they got that. Correct, Amy?
It's one of the.
Yeah.
You'll
One of the
like-
big reasons.
More likely get the money if you ask for the community participation.
Yeah, so it's not that we, because we don't, not to my knowledge, we don't send out legislation. It's noted on the webpage or the London page, but that's the condition. That's not our choice. We have a choice. If we don't do it, then we can't apply to get the $750,000 that'll help you on South Oak Street. Yeah, so that's the only reason. So you really can't compare one to the other, unfortunately. But I do encourage you, tell all your neighbors, please send that paper back in. Please send that paper back in. If we make a big show, $750,000, wow.
All right, thank you, Mr. Castle.
And that's exactly what I was gonna say. And then the other piece is why it was only sent to that ward, is that ward fits the demographics that this grant qualifies for. The other wards don't.
Oh, yeah,
Okay, so that's why it's only to that ward.
I didn't say you were leaving any boards or.
Yeah, well,
I knew that some of the.
yeah. So,
But thank you for,
yeah, I mean,
Yep, thank you.
it was a lot of work to send that out, trust me.
please
And
send
we-
it, fill them out, please.
Tell me if I'm wrong
fill
or
'em out.
not, but we did apply for that. It came out in years past, and we applied and we skipped that step and we didn't get anywhere. And our grant writer said, that's the reason why you didn't. You skipped these steps, and he said, if you want this grant, you better follow all these steps to go through. So that's why we did it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see here. We have Vance Daniels. Please state your name, your address, and you have 2 minutes, please.
Vance Daniels, 68 East Fifth Street, London, Ohio. Good peoples of the council, I say to thee, ordinance 20721 does not do enough to take us back to 17th century Puritan society. I request the following resolutions to be included. 1, ugly people who are clearly spawn of demons must forthwith wear a mask over their face at all times in public. The mask is to have a scarlet letter U, so that they may be derided in public properly as the spawns of Satan. 2, children under the age of 10 must be kept on a tether, lest they be free to wander and sin. Untethered children are free to be beaten with a stick no wider than 3 inches, the proverbial rule of thumb. Elderly people who may be infirmed can be aided by other adults to beat these children.
3, book burnings shall take place every fortnight in the town square near the pillory. If we don't have a pillory, I think we may need to build one. Books about magic and wizardry, such as the warlock Harold Potter and his bewitched spectacles, will be the first to be scourged from the city. So it beeth clear, I have spoken with my good wife Goody Smith on this matter, and she has agreed on these resolutions. She would be here to add her voice, but of course, as a woman, she is the bearer of original sin, and she is chained properly at home in the family barn with her chastity belt secured. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, next we have Danielle Fredette. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Hello.
All right, as you
Okay.
state your name and your address, and you have 2 minutes, please.
All right, I'm Danielle Fredette. I'm at 1064 Dorset Court, London. 3 things. I'll get the tricky one out of the way first. About the sanctuary for the unborn thing that we're all talking about. I'm in favor. I was here last time, heard all various comments. You said last time, some of you said, you need to consider what's best for the city. And I was thinking about that a lot. And I realized that probably the main reason I support the bill is because I think it's what's best for the city. Because it's not like we're shutting down some abortion clinic or something. It's like, we're saying, we don't want to do this here, you know? So I guess I want to say doing what's right in this manner is best for the city. We don't want to be on the wrong side of this spiritual issue. We don't want to invite the wrath of God on London, you know? So please allow our city to refuse to participate in the killing of innocent, defenseless baby people, and please do what's right and support the legislation. So I just wanted to express my continued support of that. Second, Mr. Khan's parking situation. I just wanted to say the parking on the street by Mr. Khan's auto shop. I knew about Mr. Khan before I knew about London. And I still know people who live in the Columbus area who drive their cars to London to get them fixed by Mr. Khan. So I guess I just wanted to say thank you for listening to him, and I hope that however you figure out how the parking needs to be there will accommodate needs of his business. And also, I love the traffic lights so much. Everyone I know loves the traffic lights, the flashing yellow lights, and it saves me a lot of time, and please keep them. So thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, next we have Lacey Smith.
Lacey Smith, 204 Olive Street, London.
All right.
I'm here to also voice my full support of the ordinance 207-21. I think that even if some few people will attach something negative to you, overwhelmingly London will attach the fact that you would protect life and the future London residents if you do pass this legislation. So I support it. And also, I do love the new traffic signals, the ones going away anyway, so I support that as well.
All right, thank you. Okay, and next we have Sarah Khan.
I'll pass for now, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And that is all that we have this evening for our audience concerns. And again, I just want to say thank you, and I want to repeat just a little bit of our law director's legal opinion on this, just a portion of it. Says the City of London is a statutory city in which the authority of the city is derived from the Ohio Revised Code, section 715. The powers of the legislative authority are found in section 731.05. In review of the powers granted to municipal corporations and the powers granted to the legislative authority of municipal corporations, there is clearly no authority granted to the city that would allow the regulation of abortion at the municipal level. In the event that council would approve the ordinance, such legislation would be unenforceable. So I just wanted to read a portion of that opinion from our law director for us. All right, on to our committee reports. We'll start with Mrs. Russell.
Okay, I attended the finance meeting, and on our auditor's report, the September books closed out with no problems at all. And the auditor was meeting this week with the city's insurance for their health care to see exactly what the rates would be, whether they would change, go up or down, or stay the same. Okay, the tax department. Taxes are up, both for the fire department and for the city of London. And she also said that they were going to have two tax hearings in small claims court, one on October the 14th and one on October the 28th. And for the street department, there'll be some upcoming legislation on what went on with them. Also, there'll be upcoming legislation on the police department. Okay, on the administration side, Rex and the auditor, they're gonna be working with the finance reports. There's some line items that the money's been in there for a while, and they're gonna be going through those, seeing if there is money, and it's not gonna be used, I'm not able to use if we can't move it around and use it in some different areas. Okay, and we're also informed by Rex that the Sheffield complex and out by Oxley Drive, the developer that developed those are out of business, and they did not complete the road work done. So that is going to be a cost that the city will have to absorb to finish the road work, to make them finished according to our laws. Okay, and we did have some people there outside, some audience concerns for the Sanctuary City for the Unborn. A lot of questions were brought up, like the insurance, the liability of our insurance, what they would pay, what they wouldn't pay, and then how would this affect businesses, lawsuits, does the firm even allow to practice in the state of Ohio? You know, how long will this firm honor the commitment? There were just a lot of questions, basically the same ones that have been brought up during the open here. And we listened, and it was a very, very good meeting. And it was not tabled, it was held over because Finance Committee can't do anything to it because it's in public safety. So it won't be brought to Finance again until it's went through public safety again. And I don't know when that will be. It just depends on what public safety does, correct? Oh, because it's the second Tuesday, okay. So it'll probably be around December, or I don't know. I'm not gonna quote any dates or times because I just don't know at this time.
Well, I thought it could be discussed in both. One's not contingent upon the other. Is that right? It can be discussed in either one.
Okay,
Right, as long as it's fully disposed of in both of those committees.
okay.
Is that all you have there?
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Peters?
I attended the finance meeting and Brenda discussed it also.
All right, Mr. Robinson?
Public service will be November 3rd, still at 1 p.m. And that's all I have.
Okay, Mr. Hayes?
Public Safety Committee meeting was on October 12th. We received police chief's report, fire chief's report, safety service director comments on some legislation that will be coming up tonight. Under new business, we talked about zoning regulation changes, and we talked about ordinance 207-21. It started getting a little out of hand. There was new legislation that had been introduced, so I, being the chairman, tabled it, and we adjourned. I'll read the police report. Currently accepting applications for police officers through lateral transfers, those with experience and current certification. We will discuss with CSC about extending the vacant application process, as we had very few applicants. We have one current open position. New generator was ordered after capital appropriations were authorized. Our cruiser photos submitted in the Light Ohio Blue contest finished in first place, for our group with over 1,300 votes. Congratulations. Negotiations between the city and the OPBA units were conducted on various days over the past month, with the Sergeant Group ratifying an agreement. Electronic fingerprinting system was recently installed and is operational, allowing London PD to submit criminal arrest records directly to the state database. Participated in London High School Homecoming Parade, as well as the London School safety drills at all of the buildings. Officers participated in the Community Service Day with St. Pat's School at Cowling Park. We continue to increase presence and enforcement efforts at Cowling Park due to several recent vandalism incidents. We have issued trespass restrictions to over 5 individuals in response to calls at the park this month. Police Department's handled 92 CFS at the park in 2021 and over 280 individual security checks. Overall stats in all subjects are up. Do have a note on the traffic light study. There have been no further crashes since the last month report on 5 on High Street, and none were found related to the intersections without the working signals. A speed comparison from traffic analyzers on West High Street near Westmore showed no significant increase in speeds without the light functioning at Westmore. That's all I have. Mr. Hitt will give the fire department.
Thank you. On to Mr. Hitt.
Yeah, I attended Safety Committee meeting and Finance Committee meeting in order to, I guess, hear and listen to discussions about legislation 20721. So I was happy to hear that communication was happening in both committees, and I think it's important that those things are discussed. I don't think that by shutting down communication that anything is resolved or explored thoroughly enough without that communication happening. So I was happy to see that that did happen in both committees. So with that said, I attended the safety meeting. I'll give the fire chief's report. They continued EMS training for pre-hospital trauma life support. As far as fire training, they had aerial operations training. They continued new hire orientation. They participated in the South Charleston Parade. They participated in St. Pat's fire truck safety at Cowling Park. They provided EMS at the horse show at Madison County Fairgrounds. They participated in birthday drive-bys, and they provided EMS at the football games. And that was it.
All right.
And the next meeting is November 9th, Wednesday, 5 p.m.
All right. Thank you for your report. Mr. Smith.
BPU had to move up their meeting to yesterday, and I was not able to attend. I do have the notes from each department head that was sent out before the meeting. The wastewater department, they're still waiting on their new tractor to be delivered. They are working to replace some of the digester valves. And then the biosolids building, it should be cleaned out by now, the one that's over at the Farm Science Review. The flush truck is repaired. It's now back at the sewer plant. Sanitation, they did have a driver that damaged one of the trucks. There's a cab shield, and the way he raised the bucket from the driver's side, it ended up damaging that. Les did a drug test, made an incident report, and getting that repaired. Both new trucks are getting ready to go to I believe it's McMone, that's how you say that, next week to make sure their maintenance up to date and ready to go. And then fresh water, they have crews fixing some service lines that they found to be leaking. The crews were called to shut down a leak at Bluebird. The contractor hit a line that they didn't know was there. So they got that fixed. Everything was shut down and repaired. They have received their first shipment of the water meters, which I'm really looking forward to because it probably would have helped me yesterday. And, I topped off our hot tub and walked away from it, and that was about 8 o'clock in the morning and didn't realize that it was running water until about 7 PM, so I'm looking forward to that water bill. They'll continue to install them as they receive them and the parts for them and things like that. The East High pilot, they're still doing everything they can. BPU, the administration, working hard to try to get the ammonia. Right now, even another step that we've talked about them doing is they're even looking for another raw source that just would not have ammonia ultimately, because that would be the best case scenario. Be a lot cheaper that way, so, and that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Then we have a question here about our committee report. Sir? Yes.
Just a quick follow-up with Brenda.
I'll get with you afterwards. Is that okay?
All right, thank you. All right, on to our city official reports.
All right, guys. I just have a few things. The first one is that you guys all know Election Day is November 2nd. On that ballot will be our city renewal levy. This is a renewal. This is not a replacement levy. It's the general operating levy, which has been in place since at least 1991. This is renewal legislation, like I said, not a replacement, and extends a previous levy for a set number of years, which means the tax bills will remain the same. And this is different from the replacement levy because the replacement levy would come in and replace those evaluations. So this is a renewal for general operating. And we definitely need it to pass, and we need people's support on it. It's nothing new. You're already paying it, so hopefully we can get the support behind that levy. Also, people have probably been getting in the mail a letter about the electric aggregate, and there's been some questions on that. The city has done this for many, many, many years, and this is actually going to be, it's usually a 3-year program. We opted into a 4-year program so we could lock in the rate with how everything has just been moving. So it's a little over 4 cents a kilowatt, I think is what it is. It should save you money. I know my dad called me and was asking me a bunch of questions about it, and he said it's going to save him like, I think, $2.50 a month from the way he did all the math. When you're retired, you have a little extra time to go through things like that. But you are able to opt out if you do not want to be part of it. If you do want to be part of it, just let it lay, and it will go into effect for you. So if anyone has any questions, I know they've been calling Amy a lot and asking questions about it. And then real fast, the fun fact is 65, which is that will be the temperature a week from tomorrow for trick or treat. And I cannot tell you if it's going to rain or not. Trick or treat will be Thursday, October 28th, within the city of London from 6 to 8 p.m. Hopefully it's 65 and sunny, but if it's 65 and drizzling or 65 and raining, we will still have trick or treat on Thursday, October 28th from 6 to 8. I put a post out the other day of some real cool costumes. You could be the Morton Salt Girl and have you an umbrella if you wanted. Paddington Bear is in a rain jacket and raincoat, so there's a couple nice things, but it's not going to hopefully not be cold. So if it is raining, hopefully it won't be that bitter cold rain like we've had in the past. But like I said, trick or treat for the city of London, Thursday, October 28th from 6 to 8.
All right,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, on to old business. Ordinance 20321, a motion to read by title or number.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all right, clerk, please read the ordinance.
Ordinance 20321, sponsored by Rich Hayes, an ordinance amending 452 of the codified ordinances.
Last council meeting, I made a motion to amend this, so it has been amended. I'll read it to you. Basically, it has to do with Union Street. We'll go with Part B. No person shall park his or her motor vehicle in the downtown Main and High Street District or on Union Street between 4th Street and High Street from the hours of 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. for a greater period of time than 2 hours at a time without a permit. Now, concerning Mr. Khan, what we have done, we have went from High Street to the alley right behind McDonald's. We didn't go all the way down 4th Street as we originally planned to do. We stopped at that alley. And that's still, there's 5 spaces there, and that's still 2-hour parking, correct? That's okay. That's what I wanted to, I just making sure here before I say anything more. So,
if you're done.
go ahead.
But at safety committee meeting, the police chief mentioned that, I guess kind of piecemealing different streets to 2-hour parking makes it difficult to monitor or keep track of those areas. And there's already an ordinance in place in the city which states that parking is allowed for up to 72 hours before they would be cited for that type of issue. So I know we're going to probably vote on this tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So he was suggesting that that would make it difficult to monitor, and so I'm suggesting that we turn this legislation down. But each one can vote how they want, but.
Yeah, because I'm reading the legislation here, and it looks like during the day, the parking's unlimited, how long you can stay there, correct? But from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m., only 2 hours. Is that what I'm reading?
From-
On Part B?
From 8, no,
From 5 p.m.?
to 8
8
p.m.
p.m. is
From 5 p.m. to 8
a
a.m.
greater period of
Part
time
B.
than okay, from 5 p.m. to 8, they can park longer than 2 hours. Is that what it's saying?
Now, you know that there's,
Is that what I'm saying? That's what it's saying. So only from 5 p.m. at night to 8 a.m. can somebody park there longer than 2 hours. Is that what this is saying?
yes.
Says 2 hours at a time without a permit.
Without a permit.
But in general, there's an ordinance in place that says a car can park in a spot up to 72 hours before they could be cited. That's, which is already in place. So,
All right.
I'm not getting it. I don't see where we're helping Mr. Khan at all.
And you have those, you got what, 4 apartments there? Houses with apartments?
Right, they
Right
may
there,
need to
right.
park there for longer than 2 hours.
Yeah, well, it's not affecting those.
But they'll have to get a permit.
Right, because we were going all the way to 4th Street, but we've cut back to just to the alley.
This is just Union Street to the.
Do you guys have the amended legislation in front of you? Because Jennifer told me how it would read, would say, from
You have it.
High Street, half the block from High Street to
It says-
4th, but on the west side to the alley.
it says,
Yeah.
and on half block of the west side of North Union Street to the
Right.
alley.
That's what she said. I'm just super confused how you guys were explaining it.
I'm
So
confused.
basically, it just involved the area right beside McDonald's, to the alley beside Conn's.
Which would stay away from the residential
Right.
is what,
Right.
So what's
you
the
guys were
longest
talking
somebody
about.
could park there? What's the longest somebody can park there? 7
Right.
currently,
2 hours, unless you
it's
have a
2
permit.
hours.
2 hours. There's
But if we
5
change it to
spaces
this,
there.
it's 72 hours?
No.
No, there's
If you go,
No, okay.
currently law in place allows for 72 hours.
I meant currently the legislation
Yeah.
reads 2 hours. There's been talks of making it 24 hours.
Yeah, I thought we was gonna go for a 24-hour period.
Well, I brought that up in the safety meeting, and the chief thought that, you know, for us picking an area and making it 24 hours, and then having 2 hours and 24 hours, and 72 hours, his suggestion, at least what I took from it, was just leave it at the 72 hour. And just leave it the way that it is.
He could-
Because
so
right
some-
now, there's 72 hour. The legislation, the way it's proposed, is 2 hour, unless we amend it, change it, or,
Okay, well, just leave it till 7.
yeah.
Yeah. We'll just leave it.
Is that a little more clear? that there is legislation already that says 72 hours is okay. And according to the chief of police that would have to regulate that, he said it would be kind of tough with 24 hours here, 2 hours here, then 72 hours here.
I don't know what your guys' thinking is, but it sounds now that, it'd probably be easier just to fill it. It's been brought up, it's been talked about.
Just,
And that's what Mr. Hitt has suggested.
Saying that, you all had your own vote though.
Right.
But it was brought up, we addressed it. We don't think it's the right thing to do or, easily enforceable. So,
Yeah, according to the police chief, it sounds like it's not easily enforceable either. So. All right. Any further discussion on 20321? All right, what are our wishes?
I make a motion that we adopt.
Okay, motion to adopt, a second?
Well, wouldn't we have to suspend the three reading rule first?
Is
It's
this,
only the
Oh, yeah,
second reading.
yeah,
all right, well, make a motion to suspend the three
Yeah,
reading
it's
rule.
only the second reading.
and then a second?
Second.
Second to suspend, all right. Clerk, please take the roll call.
Russell,
yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt,
Yes,
Smith.
Yes.
Okay, and then a motion to adopt.
and then make a motion to adopt.
Second it?
All right, clerk, please take the roll call for adoption.
Peters,
No.
Robinson,
No.
Hayes,
No.
Hitt,
No,
Smith,
No.
Russell.
No.
Okay, ordinance 20321 does not pass. All right, on to ordinance 20421, a motion to read by title or number,
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
All right, clerk, please read the ordinance.
Ordinance 20421, sponsored by Rich Hayes, an ordinance amending 1248 of the codified ordinances.
Basically, what we've done here, the numbers have been increased on this, and I'm going to go to Exhibit A. I'm having trouble with my computer here, so bear with me. This has to do with
Yeah,
lot coverage. And the numbers have been increased all the way through it. Well,
What were they before?
Had a lot of residents that had to come for variances to exceed the lot coverages. They vary from 18% to 30% was the different numbers. I basically bumped them all up about 25% to try to reduce the number of people having to come to get a variance because they always grant it anyway. So we've increased those, and then I've notified both the Planning Commission and BZA that if somebody does come that wants a variance beyond those, to limit it no more than 25% above that number. So that's what we're recommending. I'm basically trying to reduce the number of people that are basically having to pay a fee to be able to have more, either a larger garage or a garage or sidewalks or a patio. Just trying to make that a little easier for them.
Yeah, so it'll speed up the government process. A lot of times, like Rex was saying, they come, they pay their money, they gotta wait 45 days to get a hearing, and then it gets passed anyway. So we took a look at a lot of like size area municipalities and what they were doing and what their percentages were at, and ours were pretty low compared to others. So we just kind of lined them up to where other people are and where we think we should be. And then this should cut down on a lot of that governmental interference of people wanting to build a deck or put a shed up or something like that, put a pool in.
All right, thank you for that clarification.
Do we need to emergency this? Okay.
All right,
We could
Because we
suspend
have,
No, but if you guys wanna pass it.
because it comes in all the time.
It comes in all the time, so if you guys suspend it and pass it, that means it'll take action in 30 days.
Yeah.
So anything coming that's kinda not already here, but to
In
the
30 days.
next round, we'd say, no, just hold off. And instead of doing that, just hold off and wait, it's changing.
So we can suspend a 3 reading rule.
Right.
That's what we
Yes.
can do.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Would it go into effect faster if we did it in?
If
in
you
the-
did an emergency, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the November one, because if we voted and passed on it at the next meeting, doesn't it go right into effect, or is
No.
it still 30 days?
I don't, the only thing with doing an emergency is that if something's, and I don't know if there is, but if there's something already in play, then we'd have
It
to
would
try to
replace.
grandfather it in, and this way, we could just set it up for the next step.
For the
You
next
see what I'm
meeting.
saying?
Because it'll go into effect right away, won't it?
No,
30 days.
30 days.
30
Still
days,
30
November,
days
yes.
in
Yes, sir.
November?
But this is if somebody comes and says, hey, and then they're like, we're gonna have to fail, we can't say yes to this because you're exceeding, but if you wait, 30 days, just reapply, and then you won't have to go through that process.
Right.
Do you know if anybody's in the process right now?
That's what I'm saying, I don't know, so I don't know if
So you
if
don't
somebody's
know,
already doing
right.
it, and then we're already have them to come, they've already
Right.
paid their money, they're already gonna come, like that would cause kind of a headache to try to grandfather in, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so we'd be best to leave it on.
I'd say, I'd say you'd be best to not put an emergency on it, but suspend and
Suspend a
pass.
3 reading rule.
Suspend-
Right.
Suspend
Okay,
and pass
suspend and
tonight.
pass.
Right.
Yeah, I like
Correct.
that. Yeah.
So then 30 days, we're good.
Right, then we're good, yeah.
Okay, I make a motion we suspend a 3 reading rule.
I'll second it.
All right. Clerk, please take the roll call for suspension.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes,
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Okay, and a motion to adopt.
Make a motion to adopt it?
The second?
Second, all right. Clerk, please take the roll call for adoption.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell.
yes,
Okay, 20421 has been adopted. On to Resolution 20521, a motion to read by title or number.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all right. Clerk, please read the resolution.
Resolution 20521, sponsored by Rich Hayes, a resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to apply for and accept a grant from the Ohio Department of Commerce for Marks Radio Systems.
Basically, just what it says. It's up to $15,000. Radios are for the fire department, and the grant is available right now. So this would just authorize the Safety Service Director to apply and accept the grant. And there is an emergency on this, and if there are no questions on it,
That's- That's free money, right? It doesn't cost the city anything, just so people know out
Right.
there.
free money.
$15,000, it saves the city.
I'd make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule.
second,
Second, all right. Clerk, please take the roll call for suspension.
Hitt,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
yes,
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Okay, and a motion to adopt.
Make the motion to adopt it.
Second?
All right. Clerk, please take the roll call for adoption.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
yes,
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt.
Yes.
All right, 20521 has been adopted. On to Resolution 20621, a motion to read by title or number.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all right. Clerk, please read the resolution.
Resolution 20621, sponsored by Rich Hayes, a resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to apply for and accept a grant from the CDBG Community Development Program.
Yes, this would be used to make repairs in the 3rd Ward. City of London would be responsible for contributing 5% to the grant. Safety Service Director would be authorized to apply for and accept a grant of $750,000 and the Community Development Block Grant. City share would be around $37,500.
Okay,
Any questions on that?
any questions on that?
I'd make a motion to suspend the 3 reading rule on this also, so we can get it done.
Second?
Second, all right, clerk, please take the roll call for suspension.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt.
Yes.
All right, and a motion to adopt.
Make a motion to adopt it?
The second?
All right, clerk, please take the roll call for adoption.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Okay, 20621 has been adopted. Did you, Michael, Mr. Norman, did you have a question? And it's already passed too, though, but. Okay.
About the screen,
Uh-huh.
the picture on the screen.
Yeah.
Somewhere where it's accessible
Oh.
to the public? Because I've been trying to find that map.
Right,
on
of the,
all different sites. Where is that?
yeah, can we post that on the city site, that, the breakup of the wards? Because I actually had a question earlier too, and I could not find that map. I was looking for it myself. Can we post that on the city site, the breakup of the wards?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so that will be posted on the city site. Like I said, I had a question earlier too, and I was looking for it myself. I'm looking all over, I couldn't find it, so thank you. All right, on to Resolution 20821, motion to read by title or number.
So moved.
Second.
All right, clerk, please read the resolution.
Resolution 208-21, sponsored by Rich Hayes. A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into collective bargaining agreements between the City of London and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association.
Basically, this is just what it says. They've reached agreement with the sergeant's bargaining unit, which the agreements have been reduced to writing and presented to council for ratification. This just authorizes Safety Service Director to enter into the collective bargaining agreement between the city and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association. Any questions on that? There is an emergency clause on this also, and I would make the motion to suspend the three reading rule.
Second.
Second. Clerk, please take the roll call for suspension if there's any more questions. Thank you.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
Okay, and a motion to adopt.
Make the motion to adopt it.
Second.
All right, clerk, please take the roll call for adoption.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Okay, 20821 has been adopted. On to Resolution 20921. Motion to read by title or number.
So moved.
Second.
And a second. Clerk, please read the resolution.
Resolution 20921, sponsored by Brenda Russell, a resolution increasing appropriations.
This $4,000 is what will be used, it'll be coming out of Economic Development Fund, and it's the $4,000 that will pay for the mail-outs to the $750,000 grant that we're applying for from the CDBG.
So quick question. If we vote this down, who pays for that mailing? Or I guess, why was that mailed out before this was passed?
Guess we could put it to council's budget
I mean, why was that mailing mailed before this?
because of time
Because,
constraints.
because of time constraints, and then we found out we could use that ED money for this. And then this money, it's not all for the mailing, it's also for the town hall meetings we're gonna have to have also.
I mean, we could have, we had money in miscellaneous that we could have paid it for, but this is one of those funds where money's been laying and we haven't used it forever. And I said, let's use some of that money instead of taking it out of general, so it was my idea if you don't want it, sorry.
I mean, it just,
I know. it
the
looks
way,
bad.
the way it looks.
Yeah, no,
The way it looks.
Right, mail it out before it's approved.
Right.
Paid for.
Well, you
That's-
know, when we get these grants, you know, like, we all gotta remember that we are time restraints on these grants.
We are.
We might hear about it today and should have mailed it out yesterday. So, you know, we just need to realize that. And I hadn't even paid any attention to it, but when we're dealing with grants, you know, sometimes we just have to do what we gotta do to hope we get this money. Cause I'm ready, I like free money. There's nothing better than free money. I can spend it real easy. Free money.
What's, I know it wasn't $4,000, but do you know approximately how much it was to mail all that out?
gosh, 200, I think, was the mailing itself. Wilson Printing helped us to do it a little cheaper with bulk mail, and I have not gotten that.
Okay.
So it's nowhere near 4,000
No,
anyway.
no, not at
So
all. I
just,
think
That's just for
just so that's clear, I
Probably
know
under
people want to
1,000.
discuss stuff on Facebook, so just to be clear, that's nowhere near the cost.
So it's a couple $100 to
It's
possibly
Well,
last
a
with
couple
bulk
$100 plus the postage.
The postage,
Which,
okay.
which was bulk mail.
Bulk mail, which
And
made
then
it
also
cheaper.
Printing.
the envelope stuffing of everything was actually done by city employees from City Hall outside of
their work
hours. It was done one evening. So just trying to save a little money that way. Like we said, a lot of this isn't for that, but we're gonna have expenses when we have these town hall meetings, so.
And we do have one question. Go ahead, sir. Yeah, oftentimes when we hear about the grant, it could say, you can get this if you apply right now, like you apply in the next 2 days. So oftentimes what'll happen with the safety service director or whatever department it's in, they need to apply for that grant right away, or we would lose, free grant dollars that just come from the state or federal dollars or anything.
We've been going through this for years, and the
Yeah.
state of Ohio is notorious for saying, okay, all right, we have grants and they're available and you have 2 weeks, and it's like, okay, well, you understand, you have to go through the same governmental process we have to go through, so you
Yeah.
understand this could take a little bit of time, but it's also when they free money up and then they've got to get rid of money and they have to do their stuff. So, yeah, a lot of grants are like this, and then, sometimes it's all of a sudden, we just find it. This is a CDBG, which, ones that we know about more, but sometimes, we'll be on a grant finder website and all of a sudden we see one. And it's like, hey, we could use that for the dog park, right? A $5,000 grant from Alpo. And it's like, but we need to get it in right now, but we have to make sure that council's okay with us entering into that contract or whatever, so.
Right.
That short window's by design. If you leave a window open for months, they're gonna get thousands of applicants. And
Right.
They don't wanna deal with thousands of applicants. So they do a short time period so that, they have some less number of people that have a chance to apply.
Yeah.
And then the ones that don't do that one, hopefully they get in on the next one. So it's by design. They don't wanna leave the window open to where they get thousands of applicants. It just takes way too long to process everything.
Yeah,
Right, so then that's why by the time we get it here in council, we need to suspend and go ahead and get that approved to allow them to get the paperwork in for it, so it gives them the authorization to apply for those grants.
Yeah, I guess the other thing is, there's some discussion, or I've seen on social media about the city focusing on certain parts of town and not other certain parts of town. So this is an opportunity to focus on Ward 3, to make big improvements, and it's a good sum of money. So it's nice to, I know there's a committee to focus on revitalizing Merrimack Park, which is in Ward 3. So this is money that could be put towards that.
Right. Right. All right. And for those of you who do not know, the CDBG grant that we say is a Community Development Block Grant. So it's lots of acronyms thrown out, and we know what they are, but not everyone, so just wanted to explain that for you. All right, so, excuse me, yes?
No, we need to stop this. Come on, come on.
Yeah, that didn't cost the city anything, it was volunteer time.
You can get it done, yeah.
So please respond to the survey.
Yes, please respond to the survey.
So, let's see here.
Benefits Ward 3.
This is an emergency, and I make a motion that we suspend 3 reading rule.
Okay.
Second it.
We got one more question back there.
Do we have another question?
Oh, come on, maybe not.
Somebody? Okay.
It just occurred to me, being as this is gonna be a grant, and we're gonna decide that money's where this money's gonna be used in the grant. And I'm asking this genuinely, is it a conflict of interest for Brenda to vote on this since she's part of a group that will benefit?
I'm a volunteer
Yeah, she's,
for the nonprofit.
but
I'm just a volunteer.
But it's not a conflict?
I'm just a volunteer for the Merrimack Park.
Asking because I wouldn't wanna see us,
I don't sit on the board.
I wouldn't wanna see us to get the grant and then all of a sudden.
I don't sit on the board, or I don't hold an office. I'm a volunteer.
well, I don't think a park even
What's that?
qualifies
comment.
anyways.
You- okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
Part-
and
part, yeah.
so also too with the grant dollars, like the mayor said, we don't choose where it goes. It comes in with certain guidelines, and we're like, oh, okay, this area fits the guidelines, so let's try to get it for that area.
You can use it for a pocket park that is for that neighborhood. That would just be for the Third Ward neighborhood. You
Only.
can't use it for a city park that would benefit the entire city. So Merrimack Park unfortunately can't qualify for these dollars, so.
And that is another thing. Another thing with these grants is they usually have some really slim.
Constraints.
Yeah, they say exactly where it needs to go and how it needs to go there, and then we have to follow those guidelines. All right, so we have a suspension, and have we taken roll call for that?
No.
Okay, so we, suspension from Brenda, and do we have a second?
Second it?
Okay, and then roll call, please, for suspension.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt,
Yes.
Smith,
yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Okay, and then a motion to adopt.
Make a motion to adopt?
Second.
All right, clerk, please take the roll call for adoption.
Hitt,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Okay, 20921 has been adopted. On to new business, resolution 21021, a motion to read by title or number.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all right, clerk, please read the resolution.
Resolution 210-21, a resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into collective bargaining agreements between the City of London and the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association.
Again, this would authorize Safety Service Director to enter into the agreement with the patrol and dispatch bargaining units. It has been reduced to writing and is presented to council for ratification. Any questions on that? There's an emergency motion on this. I make the motion, we suspend the 3 reading rule.
Second.
All right, clerk, please take the roll call for suspension.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt.
Yes.
Okay, and a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt it.
Second?
Second, all right, clerk, please take the roll call for adoption.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt.
Yes.
All right. 21021 has been adopted. On to resolution 211-21, motion to read by title or number.
So moved.
Second.
All right, clerk, please read the resolution.
Resolution 211-21, sponsored by Josh Peters, a resolution increasing appropriations.
Okay, this is, all to purchase a dump truck for the street department. I want to say 6, 8 months ago, they came to us wanting to make that purchase back then, but we wanted to check out what kind of revenue the city would be getting. Our revenue has been up. So they came back to us last week and talked about it, and they found a truck that is already outfitted for wintertime, so you got the plow and salt spreader and all that, it's all ready to go. So,
I don't remember
Any
what
questions?
year. Bill said that the current dump
The
truck
current
is,
truck,
is
yeah.
98 or something? Pretty old.
yeah.
And he'll be using the old one to plow the building, the city properties, like behind the building here, and it won't pull one of the big trucks off the road. So it'll be used, even though it's being replaced, it still will be used for plowing city property and the fire departments.
Okay. Any further questions? All right.
No further questions. I move to suspend the 3 reading rule.
A second.
All right. Clerk, please take the roll call for suspension.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Okay, and a motion to.
Could I also ask
Oh,
a
yes.
question?
Uh-huh.
So this money comes out of,
Capital
so it doesn't come out of general fund, it comes out of their
comes out.
money that they've, revenue they've,
Comes out.
You know how we have a city capital budget line also?
It comes out of there.
We have a fund for capital projects that can only be used for capital, and we put money in at the beginning of the year and at different times. That's where that's coming from. It's not coming out of the general, it's coming out of the capital fund.
So he's not even, right, he's not even leasing, he's paying cash for it, right? Right, yeah, he's buying it, yeah.
All right. And if I remember correctly too, there are funds, there's plenty of funds there to cover that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
There's a good amount of funds, and then the budget will be coming up, where we'll put more money back into it. So we're trying to keep that fund up too also, because we need to make sure that we're still continuing to work on our infrastructure and get back on the roads.
Right.
Next year on our list of roads
All right.
and sewers.
Okay. Thank everyone.
Any other questions?
And a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please take the roll call for adoption.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt,
yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell.
Yes.
All right, 211-21 has been adopted. On to Resolution 212-21. Motion to read by title or number.
So moved.
Second.
All right, clerk, please read the resolution.
Resolution 212-21, sponsored by Josh Peters, a resolution increasing appropriations.
Okay, same scenario. Police department, police chief wants to keep his cruisers, SUV cruisers on rotation. He came to us 6-8 months ago. We put it off, like I said before. We wanted to make sure our revenue was there. It's there, so they're looking to purchase a new SUV for $55,000.
All right, any further discussion on that?
I would just say, I think the chief really squeezed Buckeye Ford to get a good deal and has been making them kind of hold out, because they have one ready to go. That's a big deal, why we do need to approve it, because if we don't get that one, then we're gonna wait even longer time until another dealership even has one of these. You know, then plus you still have to go through the outfitting process and all that, so,
Sometimes that can run up to 6 months.
yeah, yeah.
And then he also said he'll take some of the equipment from
Right.
the old vehicle and just move it over, so then that'll save
Right.
dollars too. Because some we can just switch right over.
This finally let us get rid of the last car.
The last car in the city, yeah.
I think it's a Dodge too, right?
Dodge Challenger.
Don't get into all that.
Yeah, it's pretty old. It's pretty old. I saw it out, like I mentioned, I saw it out the other day, and I didn't know we still had a car. So, all right, let's see here. We need a motion to suspend.
Make motion to suspend.
A second,
All right, clerk, please take the roll call.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt,
yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
All right, and a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt it.
Second,
Clerk, please take the roll call for adoption.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt,
yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
All right, 21221 has been adopted. On to Resolution 21321, a motion to read by title or number.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All right, clerk please read the resolution?
Resolution 21321, sponsored by Josh Peters, a resolution increasing appropriations.
Okay, this is, we have to transfer, we were short, I think, $2.40 for Medicare civil service. So the plan is to take $5 out of office supply civil service and apply it to Medicare to pay that $2.40, or to even it out. Right,
Yeah, that's pretty tight, yeah.
so
All right.
that's all that is.
And those small changes happen, you know how those, okay.
That's all.
And it's just $2 and some cents. Okay. Okay. Yes, we have a question? Go ahead.
I thought maybe we might go 10 so they don't come back.
Yeah, so we kept it really tight with just $5, just. Not
They like talking to me, that's why they do that.
All right, can we get a motion to suspend? That does have a emergency on it.
So moved.
Second?
All right, clerk, please take the roll call for suspension.
Hitt,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes.
Yes.
Okay, and a motion to adopt.
So
Ma-
moved.
Second?
Second. All right, clerk, please take the roll call for adoption.
Smith,
Yes.
Russell,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Hayes,
Yes.
Hitt.
Yes.
All right, 21321 has been adopted. On to roundtable. We'll begin with Mr. Smith.
Just like to thank everyone for coming out. Both sides of the legislation come out to the finance and safety meetings. And then definitely, if you are not part of an organization or live in London, I would be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. So, but other than that, just thanks for coming out.
All right, on to Mr. Hitt.
Yeah, thank everyone for all of your input. Like I said earlier, I think conversation and communication is important, certainly in this topic, and I've appreciated people's coming to finance and safety for their input and discussion, and then hope that people attend the next finance and safety. The next safety meeting is November 9th, Wednesday, 5 p.m. in the meeting room over here.
All right, Mr. Hayes.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Want to thank all city employees for a job well done, especially our safety, our police officers and firemen. Everybody who works for the city, they do a fantastic job. Like to thank council for getting through all this legislation tonight. I apologize, I had some things going on with my computer here. I lost it, and then I don't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see it real well, and I apologize for that. Lost one of our police officers lost his mother, and if you would be in prayer for him. And it was a tough service today,
It's tough.
and you know, when you lose your mom, it's tough. So be in prayer for Officer Jackson. And with that, I'll ask the Lord to bless the city of London and keep us all safe and keep us all well.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Mr. Robinson.
Just echo what everyone else says. Thanks for everyone coming out. We do appreciate both sides of the spectrum. And that's what we're here for, is to listen to both sides and make the best decision possible. Also, public safety will be November 3rd at 1 p.m.
All right, thank you. Mr. Peters.
Again, appreciate everybody coming out. Appreciate the input. Like hearing all that. Also want to hurry up and get this thing off. A little crazy. And also want to thank everybody for the prayers and support during my recovery. It's tomorrow will be 5 weeks since
Amen.
surgery, so
Amen.
everything's looking good. So
Amen.
thank you.
Mrs. Russell.
I just thank for the audience concerns, and remember, the finance meeting is Monday, November the 8th at 4:30 PM. We'll be over there. If it's, get too many people, we can move. And I just want to say on behalf of the Finance Committee, we had a very good meeting, and everybody was pleasant, and which was good. It makes it easier to have conversations, you know, when we just all respect each other. And I do, on behalf of the Jackson family, I appreciate the mayor. He showed up his respect, and the chief of police, and we have a fine mayor and a fine chief of police. They're concerned, and they're always there outside of the normal city business work. And when we can do that, and that just shows love and concern, and I just want to thank him on behalf of my family for being there.
All right, thank you. And I just want to state thanks, everyone for coming out tonight, no matter what organization you are a part of. You know, we just happen to be the ones that are up here that were elected to do this, but we're all on the same team. We all want to see the best for London, no matter what side we believe in. And this is why we're here. We want to listen to you. We wouldn't be able to make decisions if we didn't hear from you, because we don't want to sit and bring legislation and automatically pass different things, because that's not what we're here to do. We're here to present legislation as possible and then hear from the community what they think about those laws that would affect them. So we definitely thank you for voicing your opinions, and we always want to hear it, even if it's not like an election year or something like that, you know. So thank you very much for everyone, and please do come out to the public safety as well as the finance, so then that way we can discuss that even further, invite others to come too, so that way we can you know, hear. And we do thank you all for just how you do present the questions and everything, because this is a really hot topic, but it's, you know, we're working together, and that's really good to see. So thank you very much, and thank everyone for working so diligently on this. All right, we'd like a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.